Alrighty, folks, welcome back to Mildly Interesting. Starting off with number 19, my parents' water is hot pink due to a chemical leak. That's not mildly interesting, that's mildly deadly, toxic. Don't drink this. I hope you have some bottled water on hand because that's probably not gonna get filtered out with the Brita filter. Wow, I've never seen anything like that before. If that is not embellished, that is fascinating and also terrible. What would you even do in that situation? You wouldn't want to bathe in that either. You'd be like, is this gonna burn my skin off? I saw a lenticular cloud over a cumulus cloud that made it look like a helicopter. All right. Those were cloud words that I never in a million years would have pulled off. Did you actually, did the person who spotted this and was like, oh, look, that's a cool helicopter, also happen to study meteorology? And it's like, yes, a lenticular cloud over. I've heard of cumulus, but lenticular is kind of on another level. I dropped a Skittle into a glass of water and the S floated to the top. This is truly what Mildly Interesting is all about. There are a lot of posts on this subreddit that are genuinely interesting. You know, I guess they're kind of subtle, but at the same time, you think about it, you're like, yeah, that's really interesting. This, you're sitting at a table with other people, and you're like, shit, I dropped my Skittle, god dang it. And then you look down, and you're like, huh, that's floated to the top. You tell anyone else at the table, they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. But you take a picture of it, you share it on Reddit, Mildly Interesting, and all of a sudden, you're a god with 78,000 upvotes. This supermarket had tiny paper bags instead of plastic containers to reduce waste. That's pretty cool. Except that there's definitely a limitation to what fruits you'd be able to put in bags like that. Watermelon, pre-sliced, I'm ashamed to say, which is what I get. I couldn't do it. It's a little bit too drippy. But, you know, for most fruits that are within their natural containers, it would work just fine. Watermelon, though, you just grab a watermelon. Those are big boys. You don't really need to put them in a container unless you get pre-sliced like me because I'm lame. Someone is filming a historical movie next to our Airbnb. Do you live in a historical? Do you live in the past? Because this entire place just looks old. I guess this must be somewhere in Europe or something. We don't get any scenes like this in the US. This, you could have just said, hey, by the way, I stumbled across this photo that was taken in the 1940s, and looks like they had jibs and stuff. It's some really fancy camera tech back there. They kept it real secret so that the studio could keep an edge over the competition. These fog prints on my car this morning. Why did I read it as fog prints? Frog prints. The frog prints? I was thinking because they're, you know, when like dew or moisture accumulates on a car, depending upon the temperature, sometimes you can get like a crisscross, like on one of my cars, it'll get this crisscross pattern because of the like support struts underneath the front hood cover. And so that's why I was saying like, oh, fog prints, as if it's like, no, frog. So that's pretty cool though. That's some sick ribbit hops right there, dude. Like, kind of looks like he spins out a bit right here. Like things are going really well. He takes the hairpin turn and then, oh God, it goes off the rails and he slides out. Poor guy. Couldn't maintain traction. This bike has minimalist pictures of the Simpsons family members on it. Never in a million years would I have actually realized that's what it was. I would have thought this was like a new Google venture or something, because Google also does those sort of minimalist things. I've been like, is Google starting one of those bike share, scooter, motorized electric thing startups to compete with Bird and Uber and all those? And yeah, and then I would have been confused why it doesn't have a battery on it and it's locked to something. I'd be like, that's not a very effective way to get your product ridden by people. Don't lock it to stuff. My dad has had the same wallet for so long his driver's license photo is imprinted on the plastic. That's the top comment. Did you finally get a new wallet for Father's Day? Oh, he got a new father. Imagine just having it so printed on there that you don't even need your driver's license anymore. You can just be like, oh, here, I've had it for so long that it takes at least 21 years for this to happen. So therefore, I was assigned this ID at least 21 years ago. So don't worry, you can serve me alcohol. In case you couldn't tell by the fact that, well, I look like 50. So, but I wonder what the oldest age is that someone has ever been asked for an ID at a restaurant. Like, being completely serious, not for like either because it's absolutely required, like a grocery store in many situations, or because they're trying to like be funny and be like, oh, you look so much younger than you actually are. But it's a kind of 50-50 for me between getting carded and not getting carded. I think it's like the shorter the beard, the more likely it is. Get the beard out, and then it's less likely. I just went off on a huge tangent for no reason whatsoever. I need to get a new ID, though, because it's probably kind of peeled off the pigment. Itsukushima Shinto Shrine appears on the dish when sauce is poured on it. Huh. Wait. How does that... Interesting. It must just require, like, just the right amount of sauce so that it's really, really thin on the top part. Because I feel like if you filled this all the way to the brim, it wouldn't be nearly as visible. But you just pour, like, a little bit there, and then it gives some nice contrast to it. Just, you need to have a wide range of percentage. Whereas if it's filled to the top, it's not really going to create the effect. It's pretty cool, though. Also, never in a million years would I have known the name of that. But it must be like a pretty well-known destination there. Yep. You are a man of culture. I would not be. A view from my friend's apartment during a rainstorm. Does your friend live in like an abandoned city? And also, is the entire city enclosed within another building? Because it looks like your city has lights on top of it, which is a little weird. Not sure how that's happening. What is going on? Oh, it must be that there's rain falling down the window and it's creating weird distortion. It's just like, these buildings are falling apart, dude. Like, you should look into that. These balconies are all over the place. I'm not sure how they got approved. They're not up to code, that's for sure. It's pretty creepy. Someone draws little pictures on the whiteboard at my hospital with dry erase markers every week or so. I don't know why I said little pictures. They're probably not little, at least judging by the thumbnail. I'm guessing it's Keanu Reeves, judging by the thumbnail. It's amazing how few pixels I need in order to identify Keanu Reeves, apparently. I still need to see the next John Wick movie. I haven't seen it yet, and it's probably really thoroughly entertaining. Also, Keanu Reeves is like a man of the people right now. So it's like you gotta support the man of the people. That is some really difficult stuff to do in a dry erase marker. Dry erase markers are like awful medium to do artwork. I don't know what it is about them, but they suck. I think it's the fact that like when you draw over something you've already done, it like pushes away the other stuff that's already been drawn and creates a weird kind of outline around your latest stroke. As I just punch my microphone away. Don't mind me. Sorry about that, audience. I like you guys. I didn't mean to punch you in the ear. My bad. Stroke. But yeah, that's real impressive because dry erase sucks. Our local park recently installed a permanent cornhole set. I guess it's mildly interesting. I mean, it's cool. My great-great-aunt's 100-year-old nursing kit has a vial full of cocaine, demonetized tablets, and a syringe. I mean, you know, at that time, it's like, what else did you have to try to make someone feel better? Probably not that much else. It's like, you know what? Things are going badly for you. Just here, we know that this will do something, at least. It might not save you. It's not a cure, but you'll pay attention less to whatever is ailing you. Can demonetize go bad or lose its potency? I believe you have to crush it up and smell it to see. God dang it. My friend's house key is shaped like a sword. Does your friend live in a dungeon with monsters in it? Also, that's like a really short key. Is it a short key? Now I'm like questioning everything I know about keys. Or is it just that the handle on the key is so long that it makes the key look short? It looks like a really short key, doesn't it? I'm questioning everything I know about keys. It's like a me key. It's short. It'd be a special key that I should get for my door. Except my door is very large door. So I just look totally dwarfed whenever I come to it, I'm sure. Crow hopped as I took his photo. That is... God, dude, this, once again, like the S floating to the top of the glass from the Skittle, This is very mildly interesting. Looks like a magical floating crow, or it's like that, when was it? We've had it a couple times in Mildly Interesting, I think, where the frame rate on the camera syncs up with the bird's wings. So the bird just looks like it's kind of levitating around the frame. So what we have here, the magical levitating crow that you've sometimes seen on video on security camera. I made a piano shelf. That is actually that is more than mildly interesting. That's pretty cool. That's on DIY, except not WHY, it's just do it yourself. Did you actually have to sacrifice a piano in order to do that though? Or even better, is the piano still functional? We need a video of you playing it. That would be so cool if you could still hit the keys and actually play. Imagine doing a stream on Twitch where you bolt a chair into your wall, harness yourself in, and just play the piano sideways. That'd be pretty cool. These 3 ceiling fans run off of 1 motor. Why do I feel like I've seen this before? Maybe I have, but I don't know if it was on the subreddit or just in general internet browsing. The thing here is, I'm not sure if that actually saves any energy, because it still requires the same amount of energy to move that amount of mass. And so it'd just be 1 motor working 3 times as hard versus 3 motors working 1/3 as hard, right? Something like that. And then the only other problem is if that motor breaks and you do have more strain on it, then all the fans are down. This purely golden bee landed on my car today. Would you call that albino? I didn't actually realize that there was little fluctuation among bees. I mean, there's got to be some that have some mutation that they don't get the black stripes, but there's no way I would have looked hard enough or noticed this. So yeah. Very mildly interesting. You got that. That's it's albino. I'll go with that working. And the top for the last month, my broken antenna on my car looks like a half sunken boat. Yeah, honestly, just based on the thumbnail, I'm like, oh, is that a boat going through the water? It looks even better in the thumbnail. In the thumbnail, I'm just straight up like, oh, that must be a boat. It looks like a tugboat that's leaving a wake in its trail down here. Now it looks like, I don't know, a weird futuristic battleship, barge, spaceship. Also, there's a slight amount of pareidolia going on right here with these eyes and this mouth down below it. But yeah, this is one that you should just look at from far away. Kind of squint, look at it from far away. You're like, oh man, yeah, it's just like a boat going through the water right there. And there's a little reflection of trees going on next to it, because you get tree reflections in the middle of the ocean where this would no doubt be. That's it for the last month of Mildly Interesting. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've kind of, enjoyed and been interested. Make sure to like if you've kind of been interested. Subscribe if you're not already. Check the playlist in the description if you want to catch more of these. And that'll be it. I'll see you next time.